Welcome to my YouTube channel Heart of Guidance. The mythical Mount Qaf, we once thought was a legend, is actually real. You will be shocked when you hear the hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When Dhul Qarnayn reached Mount Qaf, he was amazed to see that it was made of pure green gemstone. However, it is said that giants, jinn and unknown beings dwell behind this mysterious mountain. Some scholars even claim that Ya'juj and Ma'juj are imprisoned here, and will emerge into the world at the end of times. Is it possible that the fast-growing UFO and alien appearances, even those shared by the US Air Force, are actually connected to beings from Mount Qaf? Some say that there is a portal on this mountain, and that the beings we think are aliens have come very close. Ibn Arabi says that in the end times, humanity will make contact with jinn and other spiritual beings, aliens. Could this communication have already begun? Some Islamic scholars say that Surah Al-Qaf in the Quran is about this mountain. So what else have they revealed about it? By examining all these narrations, signs and modern events, we will uncover the greatest secrets of Mount Qaf. We have thoroughly researched serious sources and put great effort into this video. Support us by liking the video and share a story about Mount Qaf from your country in the comments. If you're ready, let's begin. A valley known for ghosts, spirits, giants and strange creatures. A mountain that always remains in darkness. A place where neither the moon nor the sun ever shines. A mysterious region that no one has ever reached before. But is this the land of the jinn, or a doorway to another world? When the name Mount Qaf is mentioned, forgotten Arab stories come to mind. These tales include scary and magical castles taken over by jinn and spirits. According to some Islamic sources, Mount Qaf is the home of the jinn, and other beings similar to them also live there. In ancient times, jinn groups even built their own kingdoms in this place. Some Islamic sources also say that Ya'juj and Ma'juj are trapped here, and will come out into the world in the end times. There are discussions about whether the strange alien videos we often see on social media are connected to their arrival. Many believe that we are living in the end times, and that Ya'juj and Ma'juj will soon appear. It seems clear that we will see very unusual spiritual events in this century. The fact that these strange beings, now commonly called aliens, are making more contact with our world, and even appearing in news reports, is not just a random event. Every day, many new videos are shared on social media. The US Air Force and Western military and intelligence agencies are leading these claims. On our channel, you can also watch several videos where Ibn Arabi spiritually traveled to the place of these beings and described what he saw. If you are curious about this topic, you will be surprised to hear how he described them 850 years ago and even made predictions about today. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss such videos. In Islamic sources, jinn and aliens are usually seen as different beings. However, some Islamic scholars and researchers suggest that the unidentified flying objects, UFOs and alien events reported today, might actually be the work of jinn. For example, Ali Reza Demirkan suggests that UFOs could be technology made by the jinn. According to him, during the time of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam, the jinn were involved in advanced science and art. Based on this, some believe that the UFOs seen today might be a result of the jinn's scientific progress. Similarly, Ahmed Halusi in his book, Spirit, Human and Jinn says that jinn might pretend to be aliens to trick people. He warns that jinns could try to mislead humanity by saying that the Quran is no longer valid, and that people should stop worshipping. One of the largest Islamic platforms has discussed whether jinn have an interest in science and technology, and whether UFOs could actually be their vehicles. In this discussion, it was said that jinns are smart beings who can change their shape and show themselves to certain people when they want. We have made many videos on this topic, and you can find them all on our channel. Now let's focus on Mount Qaf and the beings said to live there. These lands, which no human kingdom has ever been able to take over, are not only mentioned in Islamic sources. This mountain, known as the homeland of Zoroastrianism, is also famous for the legend of Simog Phoenix. According to the story, Mount Qaf is made of green stones, and the reflection of these stones gives the sky its green color. According to Imam Kazvini, Mount Qaf is divided into different regions. 70 of its kingdoms are made of silver, and 70 are made of gold in Arab sources. It is said that Mount Qaf is the highest mountain range in the world, and that Allah created it to support the earth. It is believed that all mountains on earth are connected to Mount Qaf underground. For this reason Mount Qaf is considered the center of all mountain ranges. In the 13th century, Zakaria al-Qazwini wrote in his book, The Wonders of Creation and the Marvels of Existing Things, that Allah holds the sky so it does not fall, and that He surrounded the earth with a long chain of mountains. The most important part of this chain is Mount Qaf, which holds the other mountain ranges in place, like a hook. Similarly, the famous Sufi Rumi also mentioned Mount Qaf. In his works, he describes how the mighty ruler, Dhul Qarnayn, traveled east, in search of the water of life. During this journey, he reached Mount Qaf, and saw the angel Israfil, waiting there, to blow the trumpet on the day of judgment. One of the most striking stories about Mount Qaf is a hadith, found on page 38 of the first volume of Tabari-s history. This hadith describes the strange communities that live on Mount Qaf. This hadith will make you even more curious about this mysterious mountain. Some researchers inspired by this hadith have questioned its location and proposed different theories. Could this mountain be hidden beyond Antarctica by certain powers? Is it somewhere in space? Or does it have a connection to the lost continent of Atlantis? These are some of the questions that come to mind. This hadith was narrated by Ibn Abbas. He tells the story as follows. One day a group of Jewish scholars came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to test whether he was truly a prophet. They had prepared 28 questions from their Torah. If he answered correctly, they would accept his prophethood. Two of these questions, number 7 and 8, were about Mount Qaf. In Tabari's history the question is recorded as follows. Where is Mount Qaf? What kind of mountain is it? Why was it created? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam answered. The mountain, called Mount Qaf, surrounds this world completely. The world is inside Mount Qaf, just like a finger inside a ring. This mountain is made of green emerald, and because of it the sky appears blue. Otherwise the sky itself has no color. No human can reach this mountain. It takes 4 months of traveling in darkness. To get there neither the sun nor the moon shines there. Mount Qaf is like the boundary of the earth. If it did not exist the earth would not be stable, and would constantly shake with earthquakes. The 8th question was about the beings that live on Mount Qaf. The Prophet spoke about the cities of Qablika and Qablisa, and gave the following answer. One is in the east, and the other is in the west. The city in the east is called Qablika, and the one in the west is called Qablisa. Both are made of green emerald. They have reached Mount Qaf. Each city is 1,000 farsakhs wide and long, around 5,500 kilometers. While listening to the Prophet's answer, the Jewish scholars compared it to their own books. At that moment Hazrat Ali was also present. The following conversation took place between Hazrat Ali and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hazrat Ali asked, are these cities within our world, or are they outside of it? The Prophet replied, these cities are in darkness, and they are connected to Mount Qaf. Hazrat Ali continued, how many people live in each city? The Prophet answered, each city has a fortress with 1,000 gates. Every night 1,000 soldiers guard each gate. These soldiers take turns, and they only get their turn again after a full year. Ali then asked, O Messenger of Allah, why do they guard these fortresses? The Prophet replied, they guard because there are many people in those lands. There is an old conflict between them and the people of Qablika. That is why they stand watch. These people are a large community. They do not know that humans live on earth. In fact they do not even know about Satan. Ali asked again, don't the sun, moon and stars shine upon them? The Prophet answered, they do not know that. Allah created the sun and the moon. Their light comes from Mount Qaf. Their stones and walls shine like a light source. The Prophet continued explaining, the people who live in these lands, the people there do not eat or drink anything. Their bodies do not need clothing. They are not angels, but they worship like angels. All of them are male. There are no females among them. Ali then asked, what is their religion? Are they from the people of paradise or hell? The Prophet replied, they are people of paradise, and follow the path of Islam. On the night of Miraj, Jibril took me to them. I presented Islam to them, and they believed in Allah and me. I taught one of them the conditions of Islam, and he remained among them as my representative and leader. Then Jibril took me to the people of Yajuj and Majuj. I also invited them to Islam. But they refused. All of them are disbelievers. The place where they live is very far away. And no one can reach them. It takes 4 months of traveling in darkness to get there. However, during the time of Prophet Hud as 3 men from the tribe of Ad tribe believed in him and managed to escape to this city. They settled there and lived among its people. When the Jewish scholars heard the prophet's words and saw that everything matched their scriptures, they were very surprised. According to Tabari's history, all of them accepted Islam who asked the questions. So where exactly is Mount Qaf on earth? Despite all the discussions, whether Mount Qaf actually exists in this world remains a topic of debate. This is because when Hazrat Ali asked, "Is this place within our world or somewhere else?" the Prophet replied, "It is a place where the sun and the moon do not exist, and it takes 4 months of traveling in darkness to reach." The reason Mount Qaf is still discussed today is because of this hadith, recorded in Tabari's history. Many different opinions exist about where this mountain might be. Some believe that a place where there is no sun or moon for 4 months must be somewhere deep in space, not on Earth. Others think that the place described by the Prophet could be in Antarctica, where half of the year is spent in darkness. Some say that Mount Qaf exists in a physical universe, but is hidden from human sight. Others suggest that it was once located on the lost continent of Atlantis. Interestingly, Mount Qaf appears on Piri Reis's map, which also shows a mountain range connected to Antarctica. In fact, those who believe in the flat Earth theory give Mount Qaf an important role. Many think that Mount Qaf and its surrounding lands extend far beyond Antarctica, covering a vast area. However, some believe that all this information is being kept secret from humanity. One of the most interesting claims about Mount Qaf comes from a legendary event told by Admiral Byrd, a U.S. Navy officer. According to his diary, during an exploration flight over Antarctica, he encountered an extraordinary event. He discovered a region with a landscape and animals that had never been seen before. He even saw a different race of beings and made contact with them. If you want us to make a detailed video about Antarctica, please like this video. If it reaches 4,000 likes, we promise to create that video. Now let's look at some of the interesting and slightly frightening statements made by Islamic scholars about Mount Qaf. Please watch until the end, as we will also provide scientific explanations. At the conclusion, the great Islamic scholar, Ibrahim Hukka, also spoke about Mount Qaf in his famous book, Marifat Name. According to reliable narrations, the shapes and structures of the 7 heavens are like 7 tents, surrounding the earth in layers. These heavens rest on 7 of the 8 Mount Qaf ranges, which are arranged in circles around the earth. The 8th mountain surrounds the earth. Within the first heaven, known as the sky of this world, the lower parts of the heavens, end of the 7 Mount Qaf ranges. In Marifat Name, it is also written that all the mountain chains on earth are connected to Mount Qaf. The veins of these mountains are under the control of an angel, responsible for earthquakes. When Allah wants to prevent the people of a place from sinning, this angel shakes the land by moving its veins. Ibrahim Hukka also states that of the 7 seas created by Allah, the smallest one surrounds the world from beyond Mount Qaf. According to him, beyond Mount Qaf, Allah created a giant snake that circles the mountain, with its head touching its tail. This snake continuously praises Allah with a loud voice until the Day of Judgment. Ismail Hukka Busavi provides different details about Mount Qaf and explains some points as needed. According to him, all the springs and rivers on earth originate from Mount Qaf. Every person, whether good or bad, drinks from it and finds its water according to their own intentions and deeds. Ra al-Bayan, page 102. Ismail Hukka also states, before creating Mount Qaf, Allah created 6 other mountains. The 7th one is Mount Qaf, which is placed on a great rock surrounding the earth. He further explains that Allah created Mount Qaf as a high fortress to protect the people of earth from the fire of hell, which lies beneath the 7th layer of the earth. He interprets this as follows. This is a sign of the role of Qutb al-Aqtab, the highest spiritual leader, just as he watches over and guides all other saints. Because of his high rank, Mount Qaf protects all the other mountains. In the same way, Allah protects the world from physical and spiritual dangers through Qutb al-Aqtab. Some scholars have also suggested that Mount Qaf refers to the atmosphere surrounding the ocean that encircles the earth. Mount Qaf in the Quran One of the reasons this name is considered sacred is the presence of Surah Qaf. In the Quran, this surah discusses the oneness of Allah, as well as the concepts of life and death. As known, the letter Qaf appears in the Quran as the 21st letter of the Arabic alphabet, and its true meaning is a special secret, known only to Allah and His Messenger. Like many other Islamic mysteries, scholars have provided different explanations regarding Qaf. When we look at both the interpretations of earlier scholars and those of modern times, we can better understand this topic. Omar Nasuhi Bilman explains it as follows. According to Ikrimah and Dahak, Qaf is the name of a huge mountain, made of green emerald that surrounds the earth from all sides. The green color seen in the sky comes from this mountain. Some scholars have also interpreted this mountain as a sphere of air that surrounds the great ocean, Bari Muhit, that circles the earth. According to narrations from Ibn Jarir and Ibn Munzir, Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu said Allah created a sea that surrounds the earth, and beyond that, He created a mountain that encircles everything. This mountain is called Qaf. The sky of this world is held up by it. Badiuzzahman said Nursi also gives important information about Mount Qaf. In his book Muhakamat, he says, it is a place between the world of imagination, Alam al-Mithal, the world of souls, Alam al-Arwa, and the material world. It has similarities to both. One side faces the material world, while the other faces the spiritual realm. Just like your reflection in a mirror looks like your body in shape, but is as subtle as your soul. In essence, this realm exists with the same certainty as the world of souls and the physical world. It is a place where extraordinary and mysterious things appear. Just as a person has the ability to imagine, the universe itself has an imagination world. Alarm al-Methal, which serves a purpose and is real. Memory provides knowledge of La al-Mahfuz, the preserved tablet, and imagination provides insight into Alam al-Mithal. He continues, just as a human body has elements from the universe, like bones resembling stones, hair resembling plants, and the blood flowing in the body, being like the rivers and mineral waters of the earth, the human soul also comes from the world of spirits. Alam al-Arwa, memories reflect La al-Mahfuz, and the power of imagination is connected to Alam al-Mithal. Each part of the human being points to a different realm. The world of imagination, Alam al-Mithal, contains endless images, capturing countless worldly events at the same time. Without confusion, it functions as a massive eternal cinema, preserving and displaying past events for the people of paradise, so they can witness their memories and experiences from the world. Videos. Badiuzzahman gives the following explanation about Mount Qaf. The world of imagination, Alam al-Mithal, is where they travel, just as we take off our clothes. They remove their physical bodies and travel spiritually, witnessing extraordinary sights. Mount Qaf is shown in that realm, just as they describe it. For example, just as the sky and stars can be reflected in a small mirror, things that appear small in this world can take on a physical form and become as large as a tree. In Alam al-Mithal, I accept the existence of Mount Qaf, but I leave the question of its exact nature to Allah. If an authentic hadith describes its form, I believe that whatever the Prophet SAW meant by it is true and correct. Badiuzzahman also states that, even though Mount Qaf is said to be 500 years away from our world, according to divine time, it is not impossible for it to reach the sky. This is because Mount Qaf could be transparent, like the sky, and invisible to the eye. From these words we can understand that Badiuzzahman believed Mount Qaf could truly exist. According to Sufi scholars, Mount Qaf is not a physical mountain in this world. Instead, it is a spiritual mountain range in the unseen world. Sufis can observe this mountain through spiritual vision. Kashif. Mystics such as Khwaja Fariduddin Attar have had experiences related to this. In Sufi teachings Tariqat, Mount Qaf represents the highest level of consciousness and the final destination of a dervish. When a person reaches this point, they attain fanafillah, complete annihilation. In Allah, many believe that the word Qaf signifies the center of something. Modern physics and Mount Qaf. Discoveries in modern physics, especially regarding dimensions, may help us understand Mount Qaf. According to today's physics, the universe consists of 11 dimensions. However, humans are trapped in time and space and can only experience 3 or 4 dimensions. Most people refuse to believe in things they cannot see. Yet ironically, many of the same people believe in dark matter and dark energy, even though these things are also invisible and cannot be directly observed. Only their effects can be measured. If so many different sources speak about the existence of Mount Qaf, shouldn't we at least take a moment to think about it? How many stars, planets, and worlds exist within the hidden dimensions of our 11-dimensional universe? Some researchers suggest that the world of spirits, Barzakh, the realm between life and the afterlife, paradise and hell, exist within these hidden dimensions. Perhaps Mount Qaf exists within one of these dimensions, and humanity may one day reach it, whether through new technology or spiritual progress. Now let's talk about the strange and frightening stories about Mount Qaf. Legends and stories of Mount Qaf. According to legends, Mount Qaf is often mentioned in fairy tales, and the lands beyond it are said to be filled with angels. Beyond this mountain, there are believed to be other realms. It is said that one of these lands is made of gold, 70 are made of silver, and 7 are made of musk. Each one is said to be as large as a journey of 10,000 days. Some believe that angels or jinn live in these regions. Many stories describe Mount Qaf as a great chain of mountains that surrounds the world, making it impossible to reach. According to legend, it is considered the mother of all mountains, with the roots and branches of other mountains connected to it. It is believed that the earth is surrounded by a vast, dark sea called Bahr-e-Muhit, where no ship can pass and no land is visible. Beyond this sea, Mount Qaf stands like a barrier around the world. It is said that Mount Qaf is made of green emerald, and that the color of the sky comes from its reflection. Some sources also describe Mount Qaf as resting on a great rock, created by Allah to stand on its own. Humans are believed to be unable to cross this mountain, and it is considered the end of the world. It is also seen as the border between the visible and invisible worlds. This legend has appeared in many cultures under different names. The Arabs call it Anchor, the Persians call it Semerg, and the Turks call it Zumrudu Anka, Emerald Phoenix. Many believe that this legendary bird lives on Mount Qaf. It is said that this bird builds its nest in a palace, can think and speak like a human, has great knowledge and foresight, and acts as an advisor to kings and heroes. In Persian culture, Semerg is described as a creature so large and powerful that it can carry elephants and even camels. Although it resembles a peacock, its face is said to look like a dog, and its claws are like those of a lion. In some drawings its face appears human-like. This bird is known to be an enemy of snakes, and is said to live in places with plenty of water. Some say its feathers shine like copper, and that it looks like a dog-like creature. Everything we have discussed so far comes from centuries-old legends that have appeared in different cultures around the world. These stories have been passed down from generation to generation, changing over time. You may not have known much about Mount Qaf before, but as you can see, this mountain holds great importance for many people. Beyond just being a legend, Allah knows best. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, like the video, and leave a comment. This way, we can reach more people and continue making these mysterious Islamic videos. With your support, may Allah protect you, and may your Ramadan be blessed.